Hi guys, my name is Boston and I'm a concert photographer based in Los Angeles, California. I have been doing concert photography for about 6 years now, and I have photographed numerous festivals including Stagecoach, which is like the country version of Coachella, and a few others here in Los Angeles. And there are quite a few things that I wish people told me before I started working festivals, shooting at festivals. So what I wanted to do is put together a video for all the tips and tricks that I've learned and that my friends have also told me. Kind of things like what we wish that we knew before we started working festivals. So I'm putting all this information here for you guys today, and we're just gonna jump right into it. So this video is just a list of all of these things that either I thought of that I wish people told me before I started working festivals specifically for concert photography, or things that other people have told me when they're working for sound, if they're a roadie, if they're PR, whatever it may be when they're at these music festivals. There's just so many things that I wish that I knew before I jumped into it. It would have saved me a lot of pain if I knew all of these tips up front. So since it is festival season, I know a ton of us are starting to work these festivals and getting really into this season. So I want to make sure that you guys have the knowledge to succeed, and things that like some people that have been working in this industry for so long have found out and have known by their experience. I want to give that information to you guys. Okay, starting off, this was one tip that I heard numerous times from numerous people, is befriend security guards. Like, make friends with them. And this has actually helped me out before, is that like these people are going to be working the whole weekend alongside of you. Like, they can kind of make or break whether or not you stay in the pit if something happens. So just make sure that you're friends with them. Be nice to them. They're working too. Just like, don't see them as like your guard keepers if you're trying to get in and out of the pit. Just make sure that like you're friends with them, you're nice. That kind of goes with anyone that you work with, but security guards in general, they're gonna be your best friends throughout the whole weekend, so make sure that you're theirs. These next two tips go hand in hand. The first one is break in your shoes. You just don't want blisters. Like, just make sure that you're not wearing brand new shoes. The second is don't cut your toenails before the festival. This is kind of like a marathoner's tip, because you're gonna be walking so much, and if you cut your toenails really short, you're gonna keep jamming your feet and your toes are gonna hurt so bad. So don't cut your toenails, break in your shoes. In addition, on shoes, make sure that you don't wear sandals. Even if it's going to be really hot, don't wear sandals. You're gonna get so many blisters and regret it so fast. Also, rain boots, regardless of if you think it's going to be rain or shine, is going to be really nice. They do like tend to hose down dirt areas to make sure that the dust is down, and it forms puddles as well. So even if it's not raining, you might have to like go through some puddles. So rain boots are always a favorite of mine. I normally wear my Doc Martens. That way I have a little bit of the like boot weather sealing, and then they're also, you know, good for hiking and everything, that they can stay on all day. Make sure to stretch before each day. You will be walking so much, you might be climbing on things. If you're a roadie, you're pushing things around, you're really doing a full body workout. Make sure you stretch. Make sure your body's ready for it. When it comes to hygiene, have things like extra body wipes, deodorant, body glide. There's all of these things that you're gonna need because your body is gonna be sweaty and gross and like chafing. So make sure that you bring these things and like prep for it. Going off of that, bringing extra clothing is really, really helpful, specifically because you don't want to feel gross all day. when I was shooting Stagecoach, I'm like sweating during the day because it's like 110 degrees outside, and then it starts getting cold at night, so it's about like 60s, 70s at night, and you just feel gross. You're in the same clothes, they were sweaty, they were wet before, and now you're cold. So to have like new socks, new underwear, new pants to change into, just like specifically undergarments is very important, but to have like a whole new set of clothing, if you have the availability to bring that, is gonna make you feel a lot better. If you're camping, whether you're a festival goer or you're a worker, make sure that you bring like plastic bins to put all of your stuff into. There are so many things that can happen, whether it's rainstorms that you didn't know were coming, dirt, like dust storms, that if you just had all of your stuff in a plastic bin, that when you walk away from it or you put it there at the end of the night, you know that it's sealed up, you know that it's not going to get wet, it's not going to get dusty, it's going to stay clean. That's going to be a huge one for you, just to keep all of your stuff nice and clean for you the next day, so you feel like you're going into a next day ready and good to go. Bring a headlamp. Now this is one that it was really funny because you may look geeky, people may like tease you for this, but all in all, having a headlamp is going to be so nice for you when you're walking through the festival grounds at night. Security guards always have flashlights on them, specifically when the crowd gets like rowdy, that they need to make sure people can walk through and everything. But when you're working, you don't really have the time, or if you're a photographer, the ability to hold all of your stuff and a flashlight. So if you have a headlamp on, you can turn that on. That'll help you guide through the crowds. You can see where you're going. If you drop something, you don't need to fumble for your phone to get a flashlight. So having a headlamp and being prepared for that at night is so good. Make sure that you stay hydrated. It's really important to bring a water bottle, even though if you're working media or any sort of press, they are going to have a tent. Even like the workers behind the scenes have somewhere to go to get water, but they might be out of water when you want water, and it's just better to rely only on yourself. So if you have something like a Camelback or an extra water bottle that you're clipping next to you and you have on you all the time, that's going to make your life so much easier, that you can have access to water anytime. You don't really have a lot of time to like get out and go grab something or buy something, so make sure that you always have it on you. With staying hydrated, you're really gonna need electrolytes too. So I recommend buying something like a little extra electrolyte packet that you just dump into water and then drink that. That's really good, especially if you don't have access to Gatorade, you don't want to bring other things, you can just dump that into your water and you're good to go. Also, make sure to bring snacks, because you are not going to have time to go buy food and wait in line with all of the other festival goers to get food on your breaks. Make sure that you just have small little snacks that you can have on you, and then when you have a longer break, you can go get food. But just like, again, make sure to just like rely on yourself and have everything ready. Okay, moving on. The next thing that's really important is to make sure that you take screenshots of everything that's going to be important for you to get through the weekend. So pictures of your ticket, a confirmation email, the lineup, schedules for the day, like maps. You don't know until you get there whether or not you're going to have service, and unless you've checked out that venue, that location before, there's no real time to test this. So just make sure that you have those ready to go on your phone. That way you always have them easily accessible, you're not waiting for things to load, and you always know that you have those to fall back on in case anything happens. When it comes to the lineup and things throughout the day, if you're working and needing to be at different places throughout the day, make sure you set alarms, whether it's like if you have a smartphone or a smartwatch, set those alarms so you have those reminders. It seems like the time goes so fast when you're at a festival that you lose track of pretty much everything. So Sometimes if you don't have those alarms, you may miss it, you may get overwhelmed with something, think that you have more time than you do, but if you have alarms saying, hey, you need to be at this place, it's just a great reminder for you, so you're always where you're supposed to be. One tip that came through from a festival professional was to weather test your clothing, and I thought this was really important because a lot of people wear workout gear at festivals, but some workout gear isn't meant for the high heat that you get. Of course your body temperature goes up when you're working out, but it doesn't really breathe well enough. Not all, but some workout clothing doesn't breathe well enough to deal with like 110-degree temperatures. And if you're doing a festival in Southern California, it's probably gonna get 110 degrees one of the days. So to make sure that your clothing can help you throughout the day and not like really take in that heat and just like make your body kind of an oven, looking out for you and for everyone that works at festivals, just like really make sure that the clothing that you wear is going to get you throughout the day, but also like really keep you healthy and well within all of the conditions that are going on. Make sure to bring a mask, bandana, a scarf, something to help you with the dust. When you're at a festival for 5 days, the weekend, maybe even longer, it's not something that you want constantly going into your lungs. So make sure that you have a bandana, a mask, something that's going to help you and just cover some of that dust and dirt to make sure it doesn't go into your mouth and into your nose. Make sure you bring sunscreen and you wear sunscreen. You need to wear sunscreen. It's just absolutely, everyone, make sure you put sunscreen on your body, you bring something with you that you can reapply the sunscreen. I personally love powdered sunscreen. I buy sunscreen at Sephora and it's in like a powdered brush tube and you can just brush it on your body and you're good to go. I love that. It's super easy for me. I'm not dealing with like sticky goo on my hands, rubbing it on my body and on my face. So that's kind of what I do, but there's so many good sunscreen options. Just make sure you wear it. There's no reason not to. Skin cancer is not a joke. Wear your sunscreen. In addition to that, a lot of people forget about their lips even if they are wearing sunscreen. So make sure that you bring a chapstick that has sunscreen in it, because your lips are going to, first of all, get really, really chapped, but your lips can also burn. So just make sure that you're reapplying that as well. Hand sanitizer. Now, I was working a festival where they had all the outhouses and everything, and they had a washing station for your hands, but they ran out of soap the second day in. So the second half of the second day and all of the third day, we had no soap. And that is so disgusting to me. So gross. Didn't want to shake anyone's hands. But I had my own hand sanitizer, so I felt fine going throughout the day, just using my hand sanitizer and then going and getting food. Make sure you bring something to display your own credentials. Not every place gives you a lanyard or something that's easy to keep on you all the time. Sometimes if you're a photographer, they just give you that sticker pass that you put on you, and when you're sweating, if your clothes get wet, that thing's just gonna fall right off. So it's really important to bring like your own little laminate, lanyard, whatever it may be, to display your credentials so you can always have it on you. You know it's not gonna fall off, you know it's not gonna go anywhere, and you look really professional. Things to have in your bag that maybe seem insignificant but are super helpful are zip ties, tape, and a Sharpie. As even a photographer, I get asked all the time for tape, for Sharpies to write down something, and it's like, that's not normally my job. My job's very electronic, where I just take a picture of something if I need to. But like, people are always looking for something to write on, things break and you need tape all the time, zip ties because things fall apart, sometimes bags fall apart and you need to zip tie them back together to get through the weekend. So it's nice to just have that stuff in your bag ready to go. If someone else needs it, good, give it to them, and then you're gonna look really professional, really smart for packing all that stuff. In regards to your phone, bringing a power bank is so smart. Normally some of the media tents and other like VIP worker tents will have power strips for you to use. Sometimes they just don't work, or sometimes there's so many people there that every single plug is being used. So being able to like just rely on this power bank that you have, whether you charged it the night before, wherever you were staying, it's just great to have that on you, and then you're portable. So when you're running around taking photos or working, you still have your phone on you. It's not somewhere else being charged, but it's charging in your fanny pack or whatever pack you have on you. So I highly recommend just like spending $5 on a power bank. You can get them at Target and Walmart and all of those places. So important to have on you when you're at a festival. Another funny thing to keep in your bag is toilet paper. I had this recommendation from so many people when I was asking them about tips that they wished that they knew before going into a festival. Almost all of them said toilet paper, which I thought was so funny. It's one of the things that you just think other people are gonna have. Like when you're at a festival and there's porta potties, you just expect there to be toilet paper. A lot of the time there isn't. So when you have toilet paper ready for yourself in your bag, it's just so much easier. Hygiene, you know, make sure that you have your own things for hygiene. It's so important to have body wipes, the deodorant, the toilet paper, the hand sanitizer, everything that you need and your body needs to get through the day. You just like take some of these things for granted, but to have that in your bag, especially toilet paper, you can fold it up so small, it takes up so little space, but to have that on you, if you need it, it's a lifesaver. So just pack it in your bag. Last but not least, one tip of advice that I kept getting that I thought was really important to talk about is people saying, make sure you stand up for yourself. Have the confidence to stand up for yourself and say no. There's a lot of times at festivals where everyone's rushing to do something, and you might be asked to do other jobs that were outside of your job description. If you are uncomfortable by any means, feel free to go tell them no. To say, you know, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, that's out of my job description, that's not what I'm interested in. Feel free to do that. Like, you are hired for a specific job, and if they're asking you to do something else, which isn't what you previously agreed on, tell them no. Like, we're all professionals, we're all employees trying to do the same thing. Just make sure that you do what's comfortable for you. In addition, if people are making you feel uncomfortable, there are so many managers, security guards, other people that you can go talk to, that it is their job to make sure that like the workers are happy, that things are safe. So feel free to use those resources and use your voice to speak out for something if you feel like you're uncomfortable or other people are uncomfortable. So it's really important to have that confidence going into festivals, making sure that you're happy doing the work that you were asked to do, and that like everyone's having a great time and doing a good job. Please use the resources that are given to you when you're working festivals, and make sure that you are comfortable and you are happy as an employee. Otherwise, I hope all these tips are helpful for you and help make your first festival very successful. Or even if you're working numerous festivals and you wanted to have other people's take on what it is like, I hope that these helped. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them below or reach out to me on social media. I'm always there to listen and to help. And enjoy your festival. Bye.